Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, commuters and drivers are gearing up as a big-time fuel price hike is expected this week. Supporters of Vice President Leni Robredo slammed Senator Ping Lacson and Cavite Representative Boying Remulla over red tagging allegations. And will another former PNP chief win a seat at the Senate? Senatorial candidate Guillermo Eleazar joins us live. Oil companies are expected to impose a heftier price increase on fuel products this week. Unaoil Petroleum Philippines estimates diesel prices may go up by as much as 5 pesos and 40 centavos to 5 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. And gasoline prices may increase by 3 pesos and 40 centavos to 3 pesos and 50 centavos per liter starting March 8 until March 14. This would be the 10th straight week that oil companies hiked fuel prices. With the impending fuel price increase, the transport organization has filed a petition before the LTFRB to increase the minimum jeepney fare from 9 pesos to 15 pesos. But the government says they are preparing the release of 2.5 billion pesos fuel subsidy for transport drivers.
We call on Congress to review the oil deregulation law, particularly provisions on unbundling the price and the inclusion of the minimum inventory requirements in the law, as well as giving the government intervention powers or authority to intervene when there is a spike and or prolonged increase of prices of oil products.
Another former Philippine National Police chief wants to grab a seat in the Senate, serving as police chief for only 6 months. He made a mark with his surprise inspections of police stations. And like other policemen turned senators, Bato de la Rosa and Ping Lacson, this Partido Reforma candidate also wants to focus on peace and order. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have former PNP chief and senatorial candidate Guillermo Eleazar. General, welcome to The Source. Good to see you again.
Good morning, Pinky. Thank you for having me.
Unahin ko na po, General, yung rising oil prices, 10th straight week, and we're expecting about over 5 pesos increase for diesel and over 3 pesos for gasoline. What is your suggestion now? How can the public be assisted to cushion the impact on the rising fuel prices?
Yes, Pinky. Nakita naman natin ngayon, di ba, yung sunod-sunod na pagtaas ng presyo ng gasolina. And ang una talaga yung direct and na intervention na ginagawa ng ating government, which is to provide subsidy, particularly those sectors which are directly affected. Ito yung transport sector natin at saka pati rin yung ating mga magsasaka. And while it is provided naman dun sa ating batas, ang gusto natin is mapabilis and effective distribution of this. And it should be sustained as long as kailangan ito. Now we have seen also the sentiments of the people about the excise tax in accordance with the train law. And I believe that there's a call already for its suspension. At yun ang nakikita natin na magbibigay ng madaling way of alleviating the situation of the people that have been directly affected. So yung pag-alis na excise tax na ito, pati na yung VAT, yun ay malaking bagay sa pagbaba ng presyo ng ating gasolina. In the long term, tama lang talaga na we should explore itong ating mga available na mga energy resources para in the long run, ay hindi naman tayo doon magdidepende lamang sa importation ng ating mga krudo na ginagamit sa pang-araw-araw.
I think that is also the suggestion of presidential candidate Ping Lacson to explore other energy resources. But very important what you said nung una po, sabi niyo po, kailangan mapabilis. 2.5 billion pesos is supposed to go to the transport sector. Pero hanggang sa ngayon, sir, wala pa po yung ayuda. At tuloy-tuloy yung pagtaas ng presyo ng gasolina. Bakit ho kaya at paano ho kaya? Anong nakikita niyong problema at tila hindi napabilis ito?
Well, una, talagang sa implementation, yun naman pagtaas is hindi naman tong recently lang eh. Even before, yung banta ng Ukraine and the Russian war or yung conflict na yun, even before that, ito mataas na. Kaya nga dapat ay na-anticipate na siya kung ano yung mga ayuda na kailangan para sa ating mga transportation sector. Well, I believe that the Senate has, with its oversight function, is pwede lang ma-check itong mga interventions available. Of course, we have this oil deregulation law, but it is also provided na kailangan mag-intervene pag tumataas na ang presyo doon sa threshold na kailangan na there will be direct intervention coming from the government to help those sectors who will be directly affected. Lalo na ito yung magkakaroon domino effect doon sa ating mga ordinary consumers.
Do you think it's time to review the oil deregulation law to possibly amend it or to scrap it? What is your position?
Well, ang review is tama lang yun. Lahat naman ng mga batas na pinapasa ng Kongreso based on the oversight function must be checked kung the reason or the objective of these laws are really realized. And if not, i-check kung may problema ba sa implementasyon. And kung makita na may dapat na baguhin, then the law could be amended. At yun naman ang reason, yun naman ay dapat na gawin. Merong mga panawagan para i-review nga itong oil deregulation law. While it is true na objective naman ito is magkaroon ng mas mababang presyo and open for competition, hindi lamang doon sa malalaki na mga players but to other, we can say, players na makakatulong sa healthy competition. But the review is always welcome para mas malaman natin kung ano ang pwede bang ma-improve sa implementation and if not, kung ano ang pwede pang amendment na pwedeng gawin sa batas na ito.
Do you support right now calls to suspend the excise and VAT on petroleum products?
Yes, I believe na yun ang pwedeng gawin natin dahil ito talaga directly na magbibigay na mas mababang presyo ng ating langis and crudo kung matatanggal itong excise tax na ito at saka VAT on petroleum products. And kung sakali makita naman nila na hindi totally tatanggalin or babawasan, provided na yung makukuha na tax dito is diretsong gagamitin doon sa mga sectors na directly affected like itong transport group or yung agricultural stakeholders na directly pwedeng matulungan natin para hindi nito magkaroon pa ng mas matinding domino effect.
And you mentioned a while ago the rising petroleum prices also definitely because of the invasion of Russia on Ukraine. The Philippines signed a resolution of the United Nations General Assembly actually condemning the invasion of Ukraine. What is your stand on this? Is that enough for the Philippines to have signed this resolution of the UNGA?
Well, I think for now that is sufficient that we have declared to the world our resistance to the invasion of Russia to Ukraine. Being part of the United Nations and in our constitution, we renounce the use of war in settling conflict is magandang indication is meron tayong stand. Hindi naman pwede na we will just be on neutral ground on this, but malaman ng lahat na even though napakalayo sa atin noon, well, sabi nga, directly hindi tayo affected, pero yung effect naman noon is unang-una, itong pagtaas ng mga krudo, but more than that, it is being part of the United Nations at makita ng lahat na hindi tayo papayag ng isang bansa is pwede lang pasukin ng iba and the use of force is kumbaga last resort at cannot be justified in normal situation.
Which is also the stand of your presidential candidate, Senator Ping Lacson. He did make mention of that during our presidential debate. I want to shift topics, General. the e-sabong, you would have played an active role had you still been the chief of the PNP. Ano ho ba ang inyong alam sa e-sabong? And is this something that you support o dapat ho bang tanggalin itong e-sabong?
Well, unang-una, ako personally, Pinky, sa akin kasi, hindi kasi ako magsusugal eh. And para sa akin, kung akong tatanungin, ayoko ng gambling. Pero kaya nga tayo may tinatawag na illegal at saka legal gambling. And we have to balance this. Meron tayong ibang mga sinasabing sugal na talagang embedded na sa kultura ng Pilipino na hindi na matatanggal pa. Kaya lang ginagawa na lang, nilalagyan ng regulation, strict regulation, so that mga ill effects nun ay maiiwasan. Like for example, yung wetting, kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng STL. Yung sabong, since time immemorial, talaga nandiyan yung sabong. Particular itong face-to-face na sabong. It so happened na because of this pandemic, natigil yan kaya lumabas yung e-sabong. And because of this introduction, I believe na nasimula yan, and with the advent of technology, naandyan na yan. At kung sakali man na yan ay papayagan, dapat talagang ma-regulate. So, yun nga, lahat ng mga bagay, posibleng may ill effects, but we have to cushion or kailangan makontrol. Kaya nga, napakaganda naman na the Senate is now conducting inquiry investigation on this para malaman yung legality ng e-sabong. At kung kinakailangan, magkaroon ng tamang proseso at maiwasan yung mga problema na kasama nito. Now, in the case dun sa nangyari sa e-sabong na merong mga nawala, na accordingly, maaaring may nangyari sa kanila, yun talaga dapat na mapabilis ang investigasyon kasi unang-una, yung integrity ng ating law enforcement agency is at stake on this particular issue. Kaya nga tayo naniniwala na talagang dapat na malaman kung anong katotohanan. And it goes to the point na dapat talaga mapalakas talaga natin ang capability ng ating law enforcement agency sa pagsasagawa ng kanilang capability on investigation and crime prevention.
Pero para po sa inyo, you are against e-sabong. I want to make that clear, sir.
Well, sabi nga sa iyo, all kinds of gambling. Pero kung sabi nga, kung hindi may iwasan at ito talaga is maaring payagan, then meron tayong strong measures to prevent the ill effects of this particular activity.
Yeah, but pinag-usapan na po natin, alam naman natin before, meron po yung face-to-face dahil po sa e-sabong, lumaki po yung industriya. And in fact, there are a lot of reports that kahit po siguro yung mga bata ay nakakapaglaro dito sa e-sabong. Again, sir, I understand what you're saying. You're against all forms of gambling. So will I take it to mean that you are against this particular one, e-sabong?
Well, actually, kung personally, lahat nga, sinasabi ko nga, all kinds of gambling, personally, isa ayoko. Pero may mapagkakataon kasi nga ito naging source of income siya. And kung sakalin ito'y papayagan, then yung ill effects doon dapat mapiprevent natin.
So palakasin kung anuman yung posibleng negative effect ang sinasabi ninyo ng e-sabong. Yung pong 34 na sabungero na nawawala, kayo ba, General, looking back at the time na nagsumbong po yung mga kanilang pamilya na nawawala, yung kanilang mga kapamilya, ano po, did you think that the police took this seriously? Naging maagap ho ba sila para hanapin itong mga nawawala? O nagkaroon po ng kahit na papano lapse dito sa pag-imbestiga ng police?
Well, you know, initially hindi kasi ito naging malaking issue yung pagkawala. It was only actually after nung nag-retire na ako na lumaking issue na ito at napagdugsong-dugsong na posibleng merong isang sindikato na involved dito. But you know, a missing person, the case of missing person is a situation na talaga namang iniimbestigahan. And kagaya sinabi nga natin, the police can only do so much based on the information and based on the conduct of the investigation. Kaya nga para sa akin na Pinky, talagang high time na mas mapalakas pa natin yung ability ng ating mga police. Well, for example, I'm talking about not only crime prevention, pati yung crime solution. Sa atin, halimbawa yung mga CCTV cameras natin, wala tayong parang interconnected na CCTV system na kung may mga incident na nangyari, may kukonect natin sa pinanggalingan at pupuntahan doon. Well, even yung ating mga private establishment, hardly ang PNP could request the availability of itong mga tape na mga videos na yon recorded by CCTVs by private establishment ka. Para sa akin, talagang magkaroon na ng magandang sistema na through the CCTV or other recording devices ay magkaroon tayo ng magandang basis for investigation. And this goes also doon sa ating pagpapalakas ng ating investigation with the use of state-of-the-art tools that could aid the law enforcement agencies in its investigation.
We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, senatorial candidate and former PNP chief, Guillermo Eleazar. General, just briefly, I wanted to talk to you about the rally in Cavite, the Lenny Kiko rally that stirred a controversy in social media. Matapos po kasi sabihin ni Congressman Boying Remulla, ito pong sabi niya, ang dami nilang mga estudyante, yung mga aktivista galing sa kaliwa, oo. Mga trained ng NDF o kaya training nila. May dalang mga bandera pero pink. Para ho ba sa inyo, do you see this as red tagging, sir?
Well, hindi naman siguro. Well, kanya-kanya kasing opinion regarding what is happening on the ground. And on that particular, I've seen that also in the news na basically, marami ang kabataan na punta. Ako naniniwala na mahirap naman na magkaroon ng allegation or we can say na mga binayaran silang pumunta doon, kagaya na sa news. But on the case of the allegation na ito ay galing sa ibang grupo, I believe that wala namang basihan para masabi natin yon. And well, we can always check, but pinakamaganda na malaman natin what really happened. And I don't think that hindi dapat natin bigyan ng anumang masamang implication itong activities that anybody can join given the situation na we are on the campaign period.
Dapat ho, kasi ang punto dito ng mga iba, ano ba ebidensya? This is a congressman actually saying this. So para po sa ilan, this is an obvious red tagging. Meron din po si Senator Ping Lacson. After that, nag-tweet po siya doon sa sinabi po ni Congressman Boying Remulla. Sabi niya, this is worrisome. A coalition government with the CPP, NPA, NDF will set back the gains of the government's efforts to end the country's decades-old insurgency problem. But after that, sumagot din po si Senator Ping Lacson, I never red tag anybody, ang kanyang sabi. I was simply warning those concerned to be wary of a possible coalition government with a movement whose sole objective is to seize power. Insurgency like corruption must end if we want peace and prosperity. Siguro ang tanong ko na lang, General, about this is, when situations like this come up, must you be careful, or anybody, be it a candidate, be it members, congressmen, senators, or even government officials, to make such statements or to issue such statements?
Well, naklaro naman ni Senator Ping Lacson na nagbibigay lang siya ng paalala pero not necessarily pertaining to that particular situation. So, hindi man niya ina-accuse na yung mga naandun is connected to, we can say, those perceived to be enemy of the state. But just the same, nagbibigay ng warning. Kasi sa atin naman talaga is ayaw natin na yung mga those group na ang intention naman is pabagsakin ang ating pamahalaan, sila yung mga ibabaw at magkaroon tayo ng, well, we can say, affiliation or agreement with them. So, maganda rin na warning yun, pero hindi naman siguro tama nga lang na dapat meron tayong basihan if indeed itong mga sitwasyon na ito is nangyari on the ground.
Kailan meron po talagang ebidensya. General, I want to talk about your seeking a seat at the Senate. First of all, during the introduction, I already said that meron na pong dalawa, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, na PNP chief na naging at patuloy pong senador, Senator Bato de la Rosa, and of course, Senator Ping Lacson. What can a General Eleazar add, do different in the Senate, being a former PNP chief, kahit na po sa mabilis na period lamang? I think it was just about 6 months.
Well, what's the question again, Pinky?
Ano ho, General, dalawa na po yung ating PNP chief na nasa Senado. Kung manalo po kayo, palarin kayo po magiging pangatlo. What do you want to do differently, or what would you want to add? Being a former PNP chief and knowing that there are 2 former PNP chiefs in the Senate right now.
Well, unang-una, mapabawasan ng isa because tapos na ang term ni Senator Ping Lacson. And unang-una, I came from security sector. So ang ipupush natin is, una, focus on improving the capability of the law enforcement agencies, knowing that peace and order actually is the foundation of our economic development. Well, nakita naman natin kung papaano naging effective Senator Ping Lacson sa Senate, not only on peace and security, at yun din naman yung ating intensyon na ating gawin. And I can say na sa lahat naman ng field, welcome tayo lahat dyan. And we can contribute to lawmaking, being part of the enforcement for so long a time. And we can have our own contribution, particularly in making the role of the PNP and law enforcement agency more effective in our campaign to pursue lasting peace and order that could help in the economic development.
We need to take another short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. Watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, senatorial candidate and former PNP chief, Guillermo Eleazar. Sir, I wanted to follow up on what you said earlier. Kayo po ay nasa law enforcement in the past. Ang pinaka-primary trabaho po ng Senate is to craft laws. What, if anything specific that you want to craft, a bill that you want to pass, if you make it to the Senate, that will make law enforcement more effective? Ano pong nakikita niyong kailangan gawin kaagad?
Well, aside from the allocation of more funds to improve the operational and investigative capability of the PNP, yung capability enhancement program, pero nakita ko kasi itong for us to become more effective, itong mga tumutulong sa atin like the force multipliers. So yung pagtataas ng benepisyo and incentive for the barangay tanod as well as the security guards. Yung mga barangay tanod, hindi natin nakikita, pero all over the Philippines, in all the barangays, nandyan sila to serve as our force multiplier, helping the police in the enforcement and even itong crime prevention effort natin. So the least that we can do is to have their life and health insurance para mas maging motivated sila dahil halos walang sweldo sila, honorarium lang pinagbabasihan. The same manner, itong ating mga security guards, while they are employed privately and guarding the facilities. Pero yun ang role nila talaga yung crime prevention pa rin. And they can help us on other aspect by giving them incentives on the crimes that nakatulong sila para ma-resolve. If we have incentive or reward system on in general, why not? Meron talaga para sa kanila na ma-establish so that they could be more motivated and inspired in helping us. So ito yung mga bagay na pwede magpalakas sa atin dahil they are the ones directly helping the PNP in its operational and investigative functions. Aside from, just like what I've said earlier, itong mga crime prevention efforts natin and the use of modern tools dahil I believe that I subscribe to the idea that the best crime prevention strategy is the assurance that those who will be committing violations of the law will be caught and punished.
Held accountable. Opo. I think that's why there's a group called PADPAO, sir. Grupo ata ito ng mga investigators, detectives, and security guards who have thrown their full support to your candidacy.
Yes,
ba yun?
yes, tama yun. And I'm grateful to the PADPAO for giving their support to me. Itong PADPAO or itong grupo na ito ng ating mga investigative agencies, security agencies, they were working with the PNP at nakita natin yung kanilang mga concern. And, knowing their concerns and bigyan natin ng tamang atensyon itong mga pangailangan nila, napakalaking bagay yun para makita nila na andun ang concern natin at lalo pang silang maging motivated sa pagtulong sa atin.
Senatorial candidate General Guillermo Eleazar, thank you for your time, sir, and of course, good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Pinky. Good morning.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.